Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another batch of new comic book reviews. At this time, these books are still on the shelf. Some of them barely. I have to admit I'm a little bit late. And always we do a Marvel, a DC, and an independent comic. This time I've added on a couple of extras just for good measure, just, to get them out there. I read them, why not review them, right? Anyway, with all that aside, let's get this party started. Starting with Marvel, and I guess if we talk about the cover, we got to say that, hey, I've seen this before. It was on a Marvel's trade paperback or something like that. So I've been there, done that. Thank you very much. It's still a good picture, Alex Ross. But hey, let's talk about what's on the inside. Starts off with this nightmare story, and it's drawn by Alex Ross. Now, get to like it because this is the best it's going to get. This book has some of the worst artwork in it, and I found out, it's presented by Alex Ross, and it has nothing to do with the old miniseries that we've come to know and love. It's just a series of stories, which, okay, if you want to do an anthology story, go right on ahead. It's my bad. I didn't do the research. I didn't find out what this actually was, but what it ends up being is absolutely boring. Oh my gosh, the colors are so drab. It's the anti-comic. This isn't even black and white because it's ugly. F-U-G-L, I don't know how to, what is it? U-G-L-Y, you ain't got no alibi, you freaking comic. Look at this artwork. This is most of it. This is most of the comic book right here. It is just one of the most ugly books I have seen in a long time. I wish I could say more about it. I wanted to come in liking this, man. I thought it was going to be something, like I said, I thought it was going to be something to do with Marvels, where we see the world from the common man. And they could have done that. Even if you want to tell an anthology story, you could do it from the perspective. You could go through the entire Marvel history and do an anthology of what it was like to be a human being, regular, but by that I mean a non-powered being in this superhero world during each one of these storylines. That would have been awesome. What we got here was far less than awesome. It was the opposite of awesome. This is the yogurt of awesome. And while we're on the subject of boring-ass books with drab colors that really just went freaking nowhere and has nothing to... Okay, I got to admit, I didn't read Leviathan, or whatever you call it, Project Leviathan, the Leviathan event. I forgot what it was called. I read the first few issues leading up to it, then ran out of money, and then wasn't able to pick up books for a while. Leviathan and Year of the Villain kind of fell by the wayside, so I really didn't exactly know everything that was going into the story, so this was kind of new. I had to rely on what they were about to tell me, and oh my gosh, did they tell me a lot. They made sure that they covered every freaking thing that happened in the event Leviathan, and it was boring. And look at the colors, look at the art, it's so drab. My goodness gracious. This is absolutely horrible. This must be what those chalk line paintings in Mary Poppins looked like after the rainstorm. Like, absolutely dead of color. There's just nothing to it. Boring, lifeless, no energy to it. Nothing pops. Nothing really makes you want to turn the next page. The story doesn't even do that. Neither art nor story. Congratulations, guys. You've managed to fail on two levels that comic books can succeed. You can have a great story and poor art, and people will go, okay, yeah, it was pretty good. And you can have a bad story and decent art, and people will go, hey, at least it had great art, right? Yeah, that's, heck, a lot of original images based on that. But if you fail at both of them, why even make the comic? Who is this for? Why was this created? I have no idea. All I know is it sucked. Ant-Man #2. So when this was Ant-Man and the Wasp, when they did that around the time that the movie came out, I picked it up. I was like, this isn't bad. If they up the humor part, I think they would really kind of nail who Scott Lang and Ant-Man really should be. And boom, they did it. And man, this is just a ton of fun. This is a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. In this case, Ant-Man finds himself protecting Swarm, the villain, the ex-Nazi villain, and a lot of times Swarm's like, and he's with me, and he's like, nope, Nope, not even near, not, no. I hate the fact that I'm helping you, you know, one of those things. And yeah, there's a lot of humor to it. You can see the art's actually pretty good. The story is told well, not only through the words, but through the actions. This is something that I could see myself reading to my kids when they were younger, because I used to read them the Impact comics, you know, Fly, Jaguar, Comet Man, that kind of stuff. And I could see reading this to my kids too. This is a good gateway to reading kind of book. You know, it's just adult, so they have to reach. I hate books that pander to kids, and it's a lot of fun. It like I said, it nails the characters, nails the action, story's good, makes you want to pick up the next issue, which every issue of a comic book should be an advertisement for the one that follows, and I think this works. I'm quite surprised, because a lot of times, and I know you guys do this too, Ant-Man's kind of written off. He's almost like a novelty character, not really taken seriously. And look, hey, you can't take him serious in this one. Like I said, it's a cartoon book with a comic book world, you know. But one thing it does that a lot of books, and I do admit, I say there's a lot of great stuff out there, and even some of the great stuff takes itself way too seriously, far too seriously. This, however, so entertaining, man. I'm a big fan of it, and like I said, I guess I'm just repeating myself. Pick this up if you haven't. It's only on issue 3 right now, and I just can imagine that it shouldn't be too hard to pick up issue 1 and 2. So, yeah, you got my recommendation anyway. Talk about recommendations. Conspiracy, Area 51. So, you remember all that hype about, we're going to storm Area 51. Woo! Well, what if somebody actually did it? What if somebody planned to break in during that time when they could film it and say, hey, see, we were here, but not really. And then everybody but the people who are going to be sneaking in actually sneak in, because we all know it was a big failure. It was a big failure. I mean, and a lot of people know it. Hey, look, you go in there, you could get shot. You don't want to get shot, do you? No, of course not. You're going to run in here. And they even play that off. They play off the fact that a lot of people knew it was going to just be a spectacle, and boom. I mean, you're seeing it play out right here. But then some people do get in. And I don't know if this is the direction they're going in. But as soon as they got in and they did see some of the experiments, it popped into my head like, holy shiitakes. What if the big secret is it's run by aliens? Serious. What if, you know, there could be some deal going on? What if this is actually an alien base on Earth? And that's why people are shot, or that's why they want to keep it such a secret. And I don't know. When I went with that, I saw what was going on inside everything, and I was like, yeah, that would be really cool. I would love to see that story play out. I don't know if it's what's going to happen. At this point, these guys you see right here on the page broke in, and they're running around seeing all sorts of screwed up crap, and they get caught, and now they're trying to make their escape, and that's where we leave. Man, I shouldn't have told you that. Dude, just pick this book up. Try to find it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this one either. Very happy I gave it a try. Sometimes with independence, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes you come up snake eyes, sometimes not. Well, I guess I got to talk about Daredevil 18, because I've been following this series, and for the longest time I was like, hey, you got to pick this up. Best Marvel comic book of all time, hold it, Toledo. In all honesty, Daredevil is possibly the most consistent title over the last 50 years with how good it is. I mean, literally, it might not have been abso-fantastic, or it might not have been incredibly bad either. Sometimes it was just good. It was solid. But it's been the most consistent. It's the one title you can count on for being at least decent. In this case, a couple issues back, I was about to give up on it because there were some issues I actually didn't like. And then it bounces back. In this case, you have the cops who are tired of hearing that they can't go in because out and police Hell's Kitchen because they hear some big wig on the top don't want them to, and they said, bull crap, there's a young girl that got kidnapped. We're going to go out and we're going to find that dog. No, we're going to find that little girl and Boom. It reminded me of that one scene in RoboCop 2 where, you know, the cop cars go zooming by that hot dog stand and the guy goes, whoa, somebody's about to get their ass kicked. And that's how I felt reading this as well. Daredevil is in it as Matt Murdock, and he's dressed up in his suit going, I'm not Daredevil, see, no suit. Yeah, you're doing all the same stuff, dude. Come on. Seriously? Anyway, yeah, we still haven't had Daredevil in his suit for a while. So I hope he comes back, and I hope we see that again. But still, it's a decent story. I don't know what you think about the art. You've seen it going by. I don't mind because it fits the story, but I understand it's not the best in the world. However, this is really, it's the story that counts here. So there you go, gang. Those are my reviews, and as always, I like to line up the covers at the end from the best to the worst. And I have to say, AntMan was awesome. I loved it. And then Conspiracy, I can't wait. Daredevil is good too. Don't get me wrong. Just because it's in the middle of the pack doesn't mean it isn't good. I'm not saying it's even average. It was good. But Leviathan, Dawn, and Marvel sucked. I am so sad that I spent the $10 it took to get these two books. I want my money back. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, or hit one of these videos that are going around here and do all that on that video as well. And if you haven't done it already, ring that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are set on all for both YouTube and Google. And if you haven't done it also, go over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Drop $1 in the till. Help me keep making videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.